Shyamakun Radhakun Girigordhan ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki jai, Shri Jamunamai Gangamai Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai, Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish ki jai, New Dwarka Dham ki jai, Gaur Premananda Haribol. All glories is some of the devotees. All glories is some of the devotees. All glories is some of the devotees. Jai Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 6, Text 8. The downfall of Sobari Muni. Sesam Nivedayam Asa Pitre Tena Cha Tadguruhu Chodita Prokshanayaha Dustam Etat Akarmakam Shesham Nivedayam Asa Pitre Tena Chatad Guruhu Chodita Prokshanayaha Dustam Etat Akarmakam Sesam Nivedayam Asa Pitre Tena Chatad Guruhu Chodita Prokshanayaha Dustam Etat Akarmakam Sesam Nivedayam Asa Pitre Tena Chatad Guruhu Chodita Prokshanayaha Dustam Etat Akarmakam. Tadguruhu Chodita Prokshanayaha Dustam Etat Akarmakam. Sesam Nivedayam Asa Pitratena Chatad Guru Chodita Prokshanayaha Dustaretam Akarmakam. Sesam Nivedayam Asa Chitratena Chatad Guruhu Chodita Prokshanayata Dusted Etat Akarm Matajis Sesam Nivedayam Asa Tatena Chatad Guru Chodita Prokshanayaha Dustam Etam Akarmakam Sesam Nivedayam Asa Pitretena Chatad Guru Prodita Prokshanayaha Tusam etad akarmakam shesham, the remnants. Nivedayam asha, be offered. He offered. Pitre, to his father. Tena, by him. Cha, also. Tad Guruhu, their priest or spiritual master. Chodita, being requested. Prokshanaya, for purifying. Aha, said. Dushtam, polluted. Etat, all this flesh. Akarmakam, not fit to be used for offering in Shraddha. Translation. Vishukshi offered the remnants of the flesh to King Ikshvaku, who gave it to Vasishta for purification. But Vasishta could immediately understand that part of the flesh had already been taken by Vikukshi, and therefore he said that it was unfit to be used in the Shraddha ceremony. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. That which is meant to be offered in yajna cannot be tasted by anyone before being offered to the deity. In our temples, this regulation is in effect. One cannot eat food from the kitchen unless it is offered to the deity. If something is taken before being offered to the deity, the entire preparation is polluted and can no longer be offered. Those engaged in deity worship must know this very well so that they may be saved from committing offenses in deity worship. Shesham nivedayam asha pitretena chetad guruhu chodita prokshanayaha dushtam etad akarmakam. Vikukshi offered the remnants of the flesh to King Ikshvaku, who gave it to Vasishta for purification. But Vasishta could immediately understand that part of the flesh had already been taken by Vikukshi, and therefore he said it was unfit to be used in the Shraddha ceremony. Om Jnana Timirandasya Kiranjana Shalakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So herein, the principle of offering food to the deity is given. First one offers the food to the spiritual master. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschati Desatarine. Then to Lord Chaitanya, Namo Mahavarinyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurativise Namaha. And then to Lord Krishna, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Gobrahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. This is the method, chanting 3 times, of offering food. If you're on traveling Sankirtan, it's no Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Or sometimes we hear, God's up there, we're down here, let's eat. Or also, sometimes people say, Om Tat Sat, thanks a lot. Our mantra is offering to the deity. Namo Om, Namaste Saraswati, Namo Mahavaranyaya, and Namo Brahmanya Devaya. 4 prayers offered 3 times with love and devotion. Krishna eats, Prabhupada eats, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eats, Krishna eats, then we can eat. No question of taking the foodstuff first. When the non-devotees cook in the kitchen, they're tasting and sampling and trying it out and giving everyone. It is boga. It is only enjoyment. For Vaishnavas, our entire life is yagno shishashino. How does it go? Yagna shishashino shishta. Something like that. That our life means sacrifice. Yagya by Vishnu. Everything is meant for Vishnu. Therefore, this life is a sacrifice. Srila Prabhupada asked us, sacrifice this one life. What will you gain if you maintain the life of sense gratification? If you look at any of your grandfathers or old men, material nature has ultimately chewed them up and spit them out. That's a fact. We're not trying to be negative, but Bhagavad Gita states, Dukhayalam ashashvatam. This material world is a little bit completely temporary and a little miserable. There's Adhyatmaka Bholta, Adidaivaka Klesha, Adhyatmaka Klesha, Adibholtaka Klesha. Miseries from our own mind and body, miseries from other living entities, miseries from natural disasters. California, we're out of water, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, mosquitoes, bugs of all types, biting from the time we're in the womb, other living entities, our own minds bothering us constantly. This is the nature of this material world. And Bhagavad Gita states, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. There's birth, there's death. And in between, we're not trying to be pessimistic, but Bhagavad Gita does state, it's not me, there's old age and disease. Birth, death, old age, and disease. We may have some chapala sukh, some temporary pleasure of the senses here and there. We may get some titillation of the senses, but that is known as chapala sukha, or very temporary, flickering happiness. Real happiness is sokyam tvanantam, happiness that is eternal and continues forever. Tapo divyam puchakayena sadyam sugyed brahma sokyam tvanantam. Srimad Bhagavatam states that real happiness is happiness of the soul. Because we're not this body, thank God. If we were this body, what a miserable existence we would be undergoing. If you're thinking, I'm my body, when the body goes bad, then I go bad. If the body is hurt, then I'm hurt. But because we know that we're not aham ameti, aham brahmasmi, that we're souls, persons, personalities beyond this body, part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. What happens to this body is going to happen to this body. It's not us. Temporarily, we're inhabiting this body, and we may get some pleasure, we may get some pain. We may get some delight, so-called, of the material world, and on the other side, we may be tortured in many different ways. All of us have experienced, to some extent, all of us who are a little bit older have experienced to a greater extent in this body. The pleasure and the gradual weaning of the pleasure and the coming on of the pain. Don't think it won't happen to you. In my heart, I still think I'm 16 years old. But trust me, the body is not experiencing any more 16. The body is experiencing pretty much 95. And I'm not even externally 95. This is the nature of the material world. We're not trying to be pessimistic. A young lady becomes a middle-aged lady, becomes an old lady, becomes a dead lady. A young man becomes a middle-aged man, becomes an old man, and then you're a dead man. And you have to take another body and do it again and again and again till we understand Jiver Swarupoya Nitya Krishna Das. I'm eternally servant of Krishna, meant to give everything. Prabhupada said, at least this lifetime, try to sacrifice. What are you losing? What are we losing? We could have made a lot of money and been a big, successful business person or model or professional something or other, and then it would be gone. Sacrifice this life for Krishna consciousness, for Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smarana, for hearing, chanting, worshiping, praying, offering everything to. Every devotee that we've seen, there was one devotee here some years ago. He had left for many, many years, taken up a alternate lifestyle. But he came back at the time of his passing. And one of the main things that he said before he passed away to the devotees was, now I've seen that everything in Srila Prabhupada's books is 100% true. And I've experienced it. And at the time of his passing, his mother, who was a very authoritative figure, it was here on Watseka, maybe 20 years ago, his mother yelled at him, as we're used to our mothers correcting us throughout our young lives. She yelled at him, think of Krishna, go to Prabhupada. Him and his brother were devotees. Mother was favorable, but not exactly Vaishnav, good Christian lady. But she loved the movement. And she told her son at the time of his leaving this world, can you imagine? Your mother, pick up your garbage, make your bed, put your socks in the laundry, for crying out loud. The mother at the time of death, think of Krishna, go to Prabhupada. This is the meaning of human form of life. Our life isn't meant to ultimately think, well, we had a good time, we made some friends, we made some enemies, and now we're going off to heaven. You don't know where you're going. You may think it's heaven, but it could be somewhere else. To go to the heavenly planets, to go to the spiritual world, is not a cheap thing. One has to be 100% purified. One has to be very fortunate. Just like this devotee, at the time of death, he heard the name of Krishna and Prabhupada. As he's leaving his body, he heard Krishna, he heard Prabhupada. Or some devotees chanting Hare Krishna at the time of death, hearing the kirtan at the time of leaving this body, going at least to Krishna conscious life once more, what to speak of Krishna Loka or joining Prabhupada. And Krishna will arrange everything. Just like he arranged for that devotee. If we dedicate this life to Krishna consciousness, there was a beautiful story by Brahmananda Prabhu who just passed away. In New York, someone was telling, actually it was Brahmananda Prabhu, maybe you saw, that Srila Prabhupada started translating on the dictaphone. The Garga Muni had picked up a dictaphone in the marketplace in New York, and Srila Prabhupada immediately caught on to using it and started recording all the translations to Bhagavatam and his books on the dictaphone. However, there wasn't one devotee who could figure out the science of transcription. To listen to the dictaphone and to type was not easy. If anyone's ever tried that, you have to be trained. It's actually very difficult. What to speak, Srila Prabhupada speaking with transcendental Bengali accent, saying words in Sanskrit that at that time in 1966, no one ever heard before. The pit trees. Everyone heard the planet of the trees? What's a pit tree? Many, many things Prabhupada said. Even the one lecture more recently, Srila Prabhupada said that in our Krishna consciousness movement, we're not involved in asarva. And the devotees transcribed it, in our Krishna consciousness movement, we don't get involved in acid bath. The tape was actually playing here. You remember, Savas? And it said, the translation was, we don't do acid bath. And Druta Karma Prabhu had to correct it, that the word is asarba, which means blessings. We don't just give out blessings. Stay well, live long, and prosper in Krishna consciousness. Of course, you can say, but we're not in the habit of asarba. The Guru doesn't give asarba. Go to the Guru to get cured from cancer. No, the Guru will give you Krishna consciousness. And then you figure out, if you got cancer, you don't have cancer, go to a doctor. But in those days, they were translating and transcribing, and that was even more recent. I think that was our beloved archives, a little bit later on the tapes. But Krishna arranged. Devotees didn't know what to do to transcribe the tape. Somehow or other, some guy, Neil, shows up at the New York Temple, says he's studying at, I think it was Youngstown University, or one of these independent study colleges where you get credit for college by doing work for a organization, nonprofit organization. You get automatic credit. And when he came, devotees were trying to find out from everyone, do you know the art of transcription? Can you transcribe? And Neil, who showed up from the university, somehow or other was an expert. And he began transcribing Bhagavad Gita, I think so many books, Nectar of Devotion. And when it was all caught up, Neil went back to his independent study and disappeared. And they never saw him again. Krishna sent the soul to assist Srila Prabhupada. So Krishna will help us. He carries what we lack and preserves what we have. That is stated in Bhagavad Gita. And therefore, we have to be confident that if we give up everything in this material world and dedicate this life to Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada said, dedicate this one life. Of course, it may go on for several more that are attached to this one life. But dedicate this life, Krishna will carry what we lack and preserve what we have and take care of everything. You think you missed out? Just like I was being groomed to be a banker. My uncle was the first vice president of the Continental Bank of Evanston, Illinois. And my parents were grooming me to be in the footsteps of Uncle Phil. Somehow or other, after 2 years of college, University of Illinois, we joined Hare Krishna, 20 years old, gave up the banking business, but somehow or other became BBT banker for the last 28 years. Somehow became treasurer of the Interreligious Council of Southern California. Somehow became treasurer and accountant for the Culver City Interfaith Alliance. So you don't give up your treasury. You don't give up your banking business. You can still bank, play with money, but give it to Krishna. Of course, the interfaith money doesn't exactly. That's another story. But the BBT money is only for Krishna. That's the perfection of money. Somebody once quoted, when I see money, I see Srila Prabhupada's books. This is the meaning of money. So if we dedicate this life, what is the loss? You can still have your profession, but it won't be wasted on some Chapala Sukha, Maya Sukhaya, temporary engagement to further the body, which is only going to degrade. If you don't think the body is going to degrade, talk to anyone, devotee or non, in their 70s and 80s. Actually, 60s. Might as well 50s. Okay, late 40s. Body is degrading. I think after 30 you start going down. But what did Prabhupada say, after 40 or 50? 40! Old age begins at 40. Srimad Bhagavatam. Old age begins at 40. Therefore, all of you in your 20s, you don't have that much time. And it's not that much fun. It's mostly mental. Trust me. But if you engage in Krishna consciousness, there's no mental. Svavas will think for you. I'll think for you. You just do service. Isn't it? We didn't have to think. Tamal Krishna Maharaj thought for us, and we went out and did Sankirtan. No mental plane. Just ecstasy of devotional service. That's what this life is about. And unless we dedicate our lives to Krishna consciousness, to spiritual life, to devotional service, then it's wasting time. What will we accomplish? What will we have to hold on to? You can't take anything at time of death. You think you're going to make money? Money is squandered. You think you're going to have fame? Everyone forgets about you in the material world. You think you're going to have followers? One of those followers will break off and start his own following. Guaranteed. Who still has followers? Once you pass, Srila Prabhupada has followers. Devotees have followers. Rupa Goswami has followers. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has followers. Therefore, follow this path. Dedicate the life to this path and forget forever, give up forever the material path. It won't help you, even materially. My sister's a millionaire, and she's poor. She's 67 years old, and she just started a new profession to try to make money to support the 5 houses she bought when she was rich before she went under and can't afford the 5 houses anymore and can't sell them because she owes more than she can get for them. And crying day and night. And millionaire, so-called, on paper. In the hand, on welfare, basically. On the paper, multimillionaire, very successful. Children won't talk. I think like about 6 kids won't even talk to her because there's no more flow of dough. When the dough was flowing, the conversation was rapid. Now the dough has stopped and she's crying to me, no more discussion. And I just look, this is material life. Take to Krishna consciousness. It's a little bit late, but it's never too late. It's very practical. You can say, well, you're giving crude examples. You take any example. You look, and you can see. Therefore, Prabhupada said, dedicate this life to Krishna consciousness, hearing, chanting, serving, working for ISKCON, working for BBT, distributing books, distributing prasadam, distributing the holy names. That's our business. We have no business trying to make ourselves popular. Even Srila Prabhupada, the most popular person in Hare Krishna, took a back seat. Prabhupada never pushed himself forward. He pushed Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forward and devotees. But Srila Prabhupada was always, even some people don't know, who is the leader of your movement, who is the founder Acharya. He was so humble and not after profit, adoration, and distinction. What those things will get us. Profit, nothing. Adoration, less. Because there's another side to the adoration coin. It's called infamy. You get adored and you get blasphemed. Always in this material world. Someone adores you and the guy and the girl next to him blasphemes you. It's natural. It's the modes of material nature. And distinction, we have our distinction. We are eternal servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, let's with vigor and great enthusiasm go on in Krishna consciousness, dedicating our all energy, no matter what comes before us, no matter what comes in the way, to push on Krishna consciousness this lifetime and be happy in spiritual life. All glory to Sri Guru and Gauranga.